Nature is not a place to visit, it's our home. Nature is all that we see. Animals, insects, disappearing into their surroundings, using deceptions, disguises, lures. Nature is all that we hear. The call of an eagle, the hiss of ocean spray, the rumble of thunder, the doings of a cricket. The wonderful beauty of nature, the crucial, fragile affinity between animal life and their environment. All of this is World of the Wild. The world's largest and most populated continent, Asia, is also home to some of the world's most extraordinary tropical jungles. From the evergreen lowland ranges to the cool cloud forests of the mountain regions, there are areas of jungle habitat here dating back over 100 million years. In this episode, we venture into the heart of the jungle to learn the wisdom of Asian elephants, hang with nocturnal fruit bats, learn the Portia spider's ingenious hunting strategies, bask in the rivers with water buffalo, and witness the python's deadly embrace. The bountiful jungles of Asia are crawling with life, not all of which is obvious at first glance. By far the most abundant and diverse life forms to be found here are the invertebrates. Existing within their own small-scale jungle world, these animals can easily be overlooked by the casual observer. But each creature has a distinct role to play within the larger jungle ecosystem, and each exhibits a range of specialized adaptations in order to survive here. Occupying a unique place in this complex web of life is the Portia spider, which is adapted to outwit and feed upon their own kind. An adept and clever predator of the invertebrate world, the Portia spider is first and foremost a master of self-preservation. Vulnerable to other invertebrates as well as larger jungle species such as birds and reptiles, the distinctive walking gait of the Portia assists their already effective body camouflage. Pausing at irregular intervals and continuously waving their legs with varied speed and timing, the Portia mimics the tricks of light from the forest canopy. In this way, they are able to pursue their prey through the often treacherous habitat without being predated upon themselves. With their favorite food source being the other spiders of the jungle, Portias are noted for their intelligent range of hunting tactics and problem-solving abilities, traits more commonly associated with much larger creatures. Willing to take long detours in order to approach their prey unseen, the Portia spider has learned to alter its technique to get the better of the jungle's countless other arachnids. Tiptoeing on the webs of other spiders, the Portia will disguise the vibrations it creates by timing its approach to coincide with the gentle gusts of the breeze. Once the Portia is within range, a straightforward ambush attack can be utilized. As jumping spiders, Portias leap with speed and accuracy, landing atop their quarry and immediately administering their venom. The stunned victim never even knows what hit it. This brutal and effective surprise attack allows the canny Portia spider to feed on fellow arachnids up to twice its own size. Hunting by day or night, the Portia spider's ability to outwit their prey in the Asian jungle is unaffected. One of their most deceptive and brilliant techniques involves entering the web of other spiders and drawing them out through the trialing of different vibrations. Patiently testing alternating patterns, the Portia will use their quarry's web to mimic the vibrations of a trapped insect. Until their prey makes the fatal mistake of coming to investigate. As long as their habitat and fellow spiders remain undisturbed, this smart and adaptable creature will continue to thrive. The jungles of Asia are fed by a network of rivers, sneaking their way through the trees. It is these waterways that shape the jungle landscape and the life that inhabits it. Never far from the water, the aptly named Asian water buffalo inhabits the swamps and wet grasslands that the jungle river ecosystem supports. Asian buffaloes spend great parts of their day basking in the water to regulate their body temperature in the hot, humid forests and to avoid pests. They have also adapted to graze with their heads submerged, pulling up the nutritionally rich aquatic plants that grow underwater. They chew above the surface before diving for another mouthful. While some of the plants they feed on are valued by farmers, and thus bring the wild buffalo into conflict with humans, other plants, such as the water hyacinth, are an invasive species in Asia, and in feeding on them, the buffalo assists in keeping the jungle waterways clear. Hybrids of wild and domesticated varieties are more commonly encountered in the jungle and display a range of physical characteristics. Weighing well over a ton and standing nearly 2 meters tall, Asian buffalo are amongst the largest of the Bovidae family. Their distinctive horns, however, are bigger than any living bovid species. Thick-based and spreading up to 2 meters wide, these massive horns are sported by both males and females and can be used in fighting, self-defense, and most frequently, in creating mud holes in the ground. Their self-made mud holes allow water buffaloes to engage in one of their favorite behaviors, wallowing. By rolling about in the sludge, Asian buffalo are able to coat themselves in a thick layer of mud, not only keeping them cool, but protecting their skin from the ravages of the sun and jungle parasites. When parasites do set in, the buffalo have developed a symbiotic relationship with several species of jungle bird. Allowing their winged friends free rein, the birds are granted an easy meal, while the buffalo is relieved of the ticks and mites that cling to their coats. Domesticated and selectively bred over thousands of years, the water buffalo is today the most depended upon domestic animal in the world, providing labour as well as meat and milk. But it is their domestication and the ever-expanding imprint of agriculture in the jungle regions that threatens to wipe out the true wild buffalo. Although closely related, wild buffalo are a separate species to the domestic variety, and genetically pure lines are rapidly diminishing and increasingly fragmented throughout the jungle. It is believed there are still sufficient numbers to support genetic diversity into the future. But preserving enough jungle habitat and keeping hybrid varieties from contaminating the pure lines are significant challenges that remain for this endangered species. From the trees to the undergrowth and into the waters, the pythons of the Asian jungle are masters of their environment. Predominantly ambush hunters, pythons are patient predators. Well camouflaged in the jungles of Asia, pythons can take up position virtually anywhere as they wait for their prey to come to them. While all snakes are descended from a venomous ancestor, the python family has lost its ability to produce venom. Instead, pythons utilize their long, muscular bodies to wrap their victims in a constrictive embrace, opting for suffocation over poison. With 26 distinctive python species spread across Asia, Africa and Australia, the year-round warm temperatures of the Asian jungle provide the optimum climate for pythons, allowing them to efficiently draw heat from their surroundings. As a result, these jungles are not only home to a dramatically varied range of snakes, but also the biggest. While several Asian species are capable of overpowering an adult deer, this environment is home to the longest snake on the planet, a 6.5 meter long reticulated python. Across all species of python, jungle rodents comprise a great part of their diet. And upon a successful strike, the quarry is immobilized by the snake's backward curving teeth, while their powerful body coils around to make the kill. Swallowing their meals whole, the python's free-floating jaw allows it to slowly work its mouth around the victim's body, slathering it in saliva and assist its passage into the stomach, where it will be digested over the course of days or even weeks. Excellent climbers and deadly amongst the undergrowth, pythons are also superb swimmers. With much of the Asian jungle crossed by rivers and wetlands, these snakes are granted free rein over their habitat, accounting for their wide distribution throughout the jungle. As egg-laying snakes, the female python will incubate her clutch to maintain the embryos at a constant temperature, vigilantly guarding the unhatched young from the other predators of the jungle. She will not eat until they hatch. The warm and humid jungle climes assist the mother in the incubation, but it is her monitoring of the egg's temperature and the adjustment of her body to keep them within the optimum range. Left to fend for themselves, these young snakes not only face the natural threats of the jungle, but man-made hazards as well. Particularly vulnerable to forest fires, the deliberate slash and burn practices of palm oil plantations are, every year, killing increasing numbers of pythons, along with other wildlife. Until these practices are stamped out, the future of these snakes and the environment they have so successfully adapted to remains at risk. With unrivaled biological diversity, the jungles of Asia are home to some of the planet's most varied and fascinating species. We have seen just a few: the stately Asian elephant, voracious fruit bats, ingenious Portia spiders, iconic water buffalo, and constricting pythons. As the most populated continent continues to expand, the jungles of Asia are among the most rapidly disappearing habitats on Earth. With deforestation threatening to wipe them out, agriculture and palm oil plantations demand vast areas of land, and logging operations, both legal and illegal, continue to ravage the jungles as well as the wildlife that depends on them. From the unsustainable profits of industry to continued benefits of conservation, the jungles of Asia are to be saved.